just trying to gauge where we are. It is seeming, let's see if you guys could agree, like the stern would be to our port right now.
We're kind of at mid-deck.
Yeah, okay.
So we're pointed south, so.
And a big chunk of the bow is missing.
Yes.
Wow, just awful to see this line wrapped all around it. Bob, you don't remember this line at all from your original surveys 30 years ago?
This line
it's all new?
was not there.
This is drift nets, drift lines.
Yeah, watch, I'd turn and follow that to make sure you keep an eye on that line, because you're about to get to the bridge.
10 meters bearing.
See the bridge on the
please.
Norbit?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd follow that line just to keep an eye on it.
So the bow of the ship should be to our right now. The bow is missing on the wreck, and I believe that big tower that we just were imaging, where all those lines were, is actually the bridge. I was pulling up the pictures from the 1992 survey, and there were a couple of things that looked like it. We just had a different angle.
Copy 035. Thank you.
So if that's the case, we would be about amidships on the starboard side, and yeah, going back here.
It's just artillery holes all over the ship. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, following along with the damage reports, they even seem conservative in some places where we're clearly seeing more artillery hits than were even recorded at that time.
What are all those stick-like things we're seeing by the door?
Those are actually dogs for the hatches, we think. That they're they're the latches to hold the doors closed, and that they may have been different metal alloy, really resisting all this biofouling and growth all around the doorways.
A lot of cables and massive crabs.
Yeah, so much instrumentation would have been mounted up here. Amazing to think about the technology difference. You know, these ships represented the best of their technology at their time, and to think about what a comparable ship today and all the differences it would have.
Right.
This big overhang here. Yeah, we're just about to the stern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious if on the backside, if we'll see any markings above the water line.
Do you think we ought to zoom in on that white patch that's at the fore of the rudder there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what those markings
Is that
are.
a marking of some kind? I could zoom in on that.
Yeah, let's get a close-up. Yeah, thanks, Dave. That's good.
Yeah, I can't really make out anything there.
Yep.
Just an anomaly.
Could be dissimilar metal too.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Chris, did you bump that zoom back out to mid or whatever on the still after you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, all the way wide, please.
I did not. Thanks, Johan.
Thanks, Johan.
Fascinating to have seen the name Astoria on her sister ship here to Quincy, but not to see that on Vincennes or the ship itself. Knowing that anywhere we're seeing yellow are places that would have had intense fire during the Battle of Savo Island and before the sinking, you know, really helps for me contextualize just how extensive these fires would have been.
One of the functions in my portfolio at the History Command is the management of the Navy art collection. And at the end of the war, the U.S. Navy came into possession of a couple paintings from the Japanese Navy. And one of them shows the Battle of Savo Island from the Japanese perspective.
Wow.
We're trying to do some research on it right now to find out if we can find out who the artist was and get more information on it.
Is that a machine gun that's pointing straight up?
It's interesting how some of the gun mounts on these things, some of them are more corroded than others. And also this one seems to have more of the aft superstructure still here, whereas the others all seem to have, you know, disappeared.
But the aft part of the deck looks like it's it's collapsed too, as with the.
As with Vincennes, what we saw in Vincennes.
Mm-hmm. So is this the after house?
There's that material again. And looks like there might be
well,
might be part of the crane. One thing I'll mention here too is that the Navy honored each of these 3 ships by naming new ships under construction on the East Coast to carry on the names. So Astoria and Vincennes were assigned to Cleveland-class cruisers under construction, and Quincy actually went to another heavy cruiser of the Baltimore class.
so our specialist ashore suggests that what we're seeing there is a mast.
Mast?
Yeah,
Okay.
the part that the shiny object.
Yeah, we saw those on the other wrecks as well.
Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, and sometimes I'm again I'm a neophyte at all this. The shiny things have been either the stack liners, the funnel liners, or the masts.
We historians and curators and archaeologists, we owe a lot of gratitude to those men and women who served as combat photographers, because those pictures were taken by somebody, and it's often not really given the credit that those were combat footages and films and pictures. The Navy recently got rid of their combat photographers, which is kind of unfortunate, but we do owe those men and women a very big debt of gratitude, because again, we're able to continue to tell these stories.